Hello peoples, in today's video we're going to be using a Vanguard Harbinger to do a little bit of Hammerhead hunting in 3.14. Specifically we're going to check out what you can and can't do, and I'm going to highlight some of my mistakes that I made. So we're going to bring up Erkul here. This is a build that I've used before in the previous video. We've got the OmniSky 15 and the MVSA laser cannons. Stop typing, I know you can only get them through the Warden. We've got the same missile loadout with Sparks and Stalker 5s, and we have our stealth build components in there to keep our signature down. You will find a link for this build in the video description below. Go ahead, check it out, give it a shot, particularly if you have access to the Vanguard Warden. Alright, that's the only way that you're going to get those MVSAs. I will be coming up with some alternatives to those laser cannons in the future, so stay tuned for that. And this is the part where I usually say, sit back, relax, get yourself a nice tasty beverage and a snack, and let's see how we do. So we've arrived at the target location. You're going to see here that I am decoupled and that my ship is traveling in one direction, slightly offset from the orientation of the nose, which is pointed directly at the Hammerhead. I'm going to go ahead and lock some missiles on here. Now I know sparks aren't going to do much, but I'm going to fire them anyways, just to see if the Hammerhead's going to fire off any countermeasures or anything like that. I'm going to fire off a couple volleys. If they hit, they hit. If they don't, they don't. What they're doing here is basically a distraction. They're forcing the Hammerhead to do something that will keep him occupied and not focus in on me. And now what I'm going to do is get ready to fire one of those Stalker 5 torpedoes. So you'll notice that my speed is up, I'm above SCM, but I am decoupled, and I'm still heading away from the target, which in this case is the Hammerhead. Had no problem firing off that torpedo. Now my speed's coming down. I am coupled now, so I'm moving towards him. My torpedo hit, which was great. Now I'm getting ready to fire the second Stalker 5 torpedo. Here comes my nose back around. My SCM speed's still doing pretty good. I launch the Stalker 5 torpedo, and this happens right here. It hit me. I just blew off my own engine. I took out all my shields, and now I'm facing a Hammerhead that's got me in its gun sights. Not a good situation right here, and kind of unexpected. To make matters worse, I have two ads that just popped in, and of course, rather than making a hasty retreat, I'm going to press my already bad situation and make it even worse. At this point I'm thinking I'm doing okay, I got his shields down, I'm doing hull damage, I'm going to take this guy out. But then this happens. I start taking a lot of hits from the ads. They're tearing me apart, not a good situation, and it's going to get even worse. And one more note, I'm flying solo in a multi-crew ship. The Vanguard is a two-person ship. If I had had a second person, specifically in that turret, as a turret gunner, I have no doubt that despite the fact that I tried to blow myself up with my own torpedo, I would be able to take this Hammerhead out and deal with these two ads before I took all this damage. Because the turret gunner will make that big of a difference. It's amazing. Turret's got a big buff in this patch. They have definitely come onto their own. Don't discount having a turret gunner in your ship, for any ship if you have a turret. Make sure that they're in there. And if you want a real blast, take a Hurricane out with a friend in a turret. Oh man, you're just a monster. So with that, let's see if I can get out of this mess that I've gotten myself into. So at this point I've taken so much damage I can't even keep my crosshairs on the target. This was kind of like the final straw for me. I go into a pretty good flat spin, almost blackout. Gave me flashbacks of Top Gun when Maverick's in a flat spin and Goose ends up dying. Yeah, I know, I just dated myself, didn't I? Anyways, I spool up my quantum drive and I manage to quantum away. Now this is another point that I probably should have made in a couple videos ago, whenever you go into combat, you should always bring up your navigation screen, select a safe port, lock it in, and in that way, during combat, if things should go south, you don't have to worry about trying to pick it when everything is shooting at you. You can just simply spool up your quantum drive, point in that direction, and go. Now, you do have to wait for it to completely spool up and lock on, but at least you're going to save yourself a little bit of time. And in this case, it pays off because I'm able to get away from that incredibly bad situation with the Hammerhead and the ads. Now, I'm not giving up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into HURL1 because that's what I had picked. I'm actually going to repair, rearm, refuel, and I'm going to go back. And I'm going to do it the way that I probably should have done it from the beginning, by taking out the ads first. Now what we'll do is we'll take a look. I'll show you what the Vanguard looks like. It's not pretty. And I actually had a pretty hard time trying to land the ship as well because there was so much damage to it. So credit to CIG for putting in a really cool flight model for the spaceships that we have, because just like in real life with the damage that you had, the ship is very uncontrollable. And it was quite refreshing to see a game that did that. So here, as you can see, yeah, I'm probably just like 2 hit points of hull left. I even got my rear door is down because it's broken. Now, CIG, take a look. Having invisible mounting points for parts that aren't there, not good. Go fix that. So at this point, we've refueled, rearmed. We're now going back after the Hammerhead. I have to close in the distance here, and we're going to do what we should have done. I see that the ads are right there. I'm going to go after them, take them out first. I'm going to do the same stuff that we've always done. I'm going to go after the Vanguard. I'm going to fire off some missiles. They've already tried to do a missile on me. I'm going to avoid it. It's pretty easy. But I'm going to pepper this Vanguard with a bunch of missiles. Some of them are going to hit. Some of them are going to miss. It doesn't matter. I'm keeping him occupied until I can get within gun range, and then I'm just going to mow him down, and then I'll go after the next target, which is a Hurricane. So let's see how we do. So with the ads out of the way, we're going after the Hammerhead. We're going to lock on some torpedoes and missiles and hopefully not blow a wing off this time. And yeah, I have sped up the game footage just a little bit because this video is already getting past my normal time limit. So I want to try to wrap it up here as soon as we can. As you saw there, 2 of the missiles did not hit the target. The last one did. It's basically because I fired them, we were just a little too far out. So fire your missiles when you are at or below 4 kilometers to the target. You'll probably hit. Anything past that, you're probably going to miss because of countermeasures. So keep that in the back of your mind. Now, one thing to note, even though we have our weapons capacitor at 100%, we're still running out of shots because this is a mono build, okay? We have 5 energy weapons and they're sucking that pool down real quick. We're still doing damage, but I'm starting to question if this is actually a viable build I think if we supplement some of those energy weapons out with ballistics, we'll do better. As you can tell, we've already taken the shields down. He's already had previous damage from the first engagement, and then as you can see, it doesn't take long. There he goes. So can you use your Vanguard to do ERTs and a little bit of Hammerhead hunting in 3.14? Absolutely. Still viable. There are other builds out there that are probably a little bit better at doing it. This is just my first test, and I wanted to test out the mono build. As you can see, because we can't quite dodge that fire, because the Vanguard is not as nimble as it was in 3.13, I caught a little bit more damage from that last burst from the Hammerhead before I killed it. But it's no big deal. I'm still here, and I can go repair. Okay. Leave your comments in the comments section. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. And again, if you got better ways of doing it using the Vanguard, by all means, that's what the comment section is for. I invite you to go ahead, give us your tips, your tricks, so that people can learn from your experience, not just mine. And that's what this channel is all about. Until next time, take care.